This is the hot water pump I'm going to use to get instant hot water up to my faucets in my sink and my bathroom. And this is like $55 on Amazon, and it's much cheaper than some of the automatic systems. And I'll control it with Alexa and a smart plug system. I'm going to mount the pump flat on the bottom of the cabinet, and it doesn't sit stable, so I'm going to build a little thing to make it sit level, raise it up in the back, and put some spacers under here to make it level. It doesn't have to be level, but I just like it better. This piece of wood worked out to be just the right size for what I needed. I think this came from the bottom of a pull-down shade. It's about 155 thousandths thick. There's not a lot of force on this thing. I don't believe it's going to rock too much, so I just use a glue gun. Put these across the bottom to strengthen it. This is the cradle it sits in, and this lifts the back up. Let's see how it looks. There, that's real steady. You have to put some teas into the hot and cold water to feed the pump and return. You don't have to have shut-off valves, but I just find it a lot more convenient to have shut-off valves so you can work on the pump without shutting your main water off. I glued down the little spacer on the bottom. Okay, this is how the system looks when it's done. I use stainless steel connectors because they're more solid, and that way it holds the pump steady. I don't have to tie this pump down. This is set on position 1. You can set it up on 3 so it pumps faster, but I don't really see the need for it. This is about 70 feet from the water heater, and it takes about a minute and a half to get the hot water up here. So what you do is you time it. When you first get all done, you turn the pump on and you time it until you feel hot water here. And then you know how long to set up Alexa to run the pump. You have to have this one-way valve in here. And you don't have to have shut-off valves, but it's just easier to put, or well, more convenient if you ever have to change the pump to have the shut-off valves in here. But you can go directly up to your piping. The way this system works is your hot water and your cold water have about the same amount. Well, when there's no water flowing, they have the exact same amount of water pressure. So this pump increases the water pressure, and so it will suck the hot water out of the water tank, out of the water heater, and send it down the cold water line. So that's why you want to shut it off once you get the hot water here. You don't want to be sending a lot of hot water down the cold water line. You're just wasting it. And the reason you need to have the shut-off valve is if you don't do that, basically your hot water and your cold water are tied together. And as soon as you start using hot water, the cold water will flow back. Like I said, this is about 70 feet from a water heater. The sink, the kitchen sink, is about 50 feet. Because I didn't want to put this under the sink because it's underneath there's a garbage disposal and a reverse osmosis and all that. So I put it under this bathroom sink. Now I have one bathroom that's real close to the water heater, so I only need to run the pump for about 20 seconds. So I have 2 different routines for Alexa, one for 20 seconds and one for a minute and a half when I want to get the water all the way up here. Now, this whole system, probably with the fittings and everything, probably cost me less than $100. Of course, if you have to buy Alexa and a smart plug, it starts adding up. But if you've already got them, then see, now there are pumps available that are automatic, that automatically sense when the hot water gets up here, and you just push a button to make them run. But they're like almost $500, so I like this better. I found that these 1/2-inch stainless steel Connectors are hard to find, and much more common are the braided ones, which are more flexible. You can try it and see if the pump seems to move very little anyway, but if you have a problem, you can just tie it down with Velcro, stick some Velcro on there and screw the Velcro down there on each side.